Okay, so let's talk about Manuel. Your near-death experience. Let's start with that. Manuel, how long you been a Christian or a follower of Jesus?
I was since. Do you want me in the picture or do you want no picture?
No, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It's just gonna be mostly. It's just gonna be audio, anyways. We'll just have an image, so it doesn't matter. By the way, to anyone who will hear this in the future, this is Mike Adams, Old Religious Dystopia. I'm talking to Manuel. How do you pronounce your last name, Manuel?
Yeah, Manuel.
Well, how do you pronounce your last name? How do you pronounce? Is it okay if I ask you how to pronounce your last name?
My name is Manuel. Manuel Ofide.
Ofide. Okay.
Manuel Ofide.
Ofide.
Yes.
So Manuel, he was originally from New Guinea.
Papua. West Papua.
It's part of the. It's part of the Indonesian archipelago region, which is just north of Australia. So, anyways, I was talking to Manuel, and he has an interesting story to share. And I would like him to talk a little bit about his near-death experience, and then how he was a Satanist that turned to the Lord. So, but we'll start with, I guess it would be first thing that would happen would be the near-death experience, right?
Yeah.
So tell us about that. You said that you were a child, right, when this happened? A young boy?
Yes, I was working with my father, and let me see if I can better so. Yeah, I was working with my father, and as a Satanist, from 3 years old till 5 years, till 7. Yeah.
So as a child, you were a Satanist.
Yeah, as a child was, and it is our culture. We Papua New Guineans, we from West Papua are just like the Indians. We are all grown with the cultures. We summon the jungle, the law of the jungle spirits, to hunt and to provide for our foods and to provide for our knowledge of our medicines. That's why we ask that spirit to help us when we are injured or sick.
But you call that being a Satanist. Some Satanists would say that that's not being a Satanist. Why do you feel that it's being a Satanist?
That's because I was working with those angels and the beast from Daniel and the beast from the Revelation. That is the 3 beasts of Revelation and the 3 beasts of the 4 beasts of Daniel. Okay. And the 1/3 angels that kicked out of heaven, they also worked with those creatures.
Okay. So you're a Satanist. How as a child, how can you be a Satanist? What were you doing as a Satanist? I'm kind of going off track, but what that? What were you doing as a? What were you doing as a child?
I was doing. I was a blood donor, and me as a blood donor. Let me see if I can turn that picture. Even let me see the camera. Oh, that is strange. The function is I cannot turn my camera.
Well,
why is it so?
Well, no, we're looking at we're looking. Okay.
Yes.
Well, there you are.
So it is much better.
There is the man, Manuel.
Yes.
So you're a blood donor. What does that mean, being a blood donor as a child?
That means
So, hey, Manuel, I just let you know it doesn't matter what you look like and what you're doing because I'm not recording the video part. I'm just recording the audio part. So.
Okay, the audio part. Yeah. Is the background? Do you hear the background? Do you need the background or no background?
You can send me a couple images via Facebook, like you said you're going to do, and I'll use those. Okay.
Oh yeah, you can also take this snapshot. Yes.
I guess you could. I could.
So. Yes. So dus that is. Oh, you see that? It's just like the bird with the wings.
Yeah. Looks like a hat. So you said you were a blood donor as a child. What do you mean by that?
Yeah, a soul donor. A soul donor. And the people of Satan has no soul. And that is why he needs people to give 5 liter. And our body can give 1 liter blood. And our soul can give 5 liter blood. And that is the same as like white light and milkshake. And that is what Satan wants. Satan wants only people who can give 5 liter milkshake from the soul. That is how he's been done. But you need to know when the Freemasonry, when you're on the level of 33 Masonry, that is only people who can give 3 liter of their soul. Dus there are not many people who can give 5 liter of their soul. Dus that is just like winning the cross grade. And there are not so many people who are on the 5 top, you know, from cross grade, you know, CrossFit challenge, CrossFit games. There is people who run very fast and must pull things, pull-ups.
Oh, okay, okay.
Is a World Cup.
Okay.
Yeah. That calls CrossFit games.
CrossFit games,
Dus,
okay.
Yeah.
So, were you a Freemason?
Yes, I was a Freemasonry. I was the beast from Daniel, and the beast from Revelation is connected to the God have given them the gold and silver from this planet. And the 1/3 angel who kicked out of heaven is like you have a pizza, that is the all angels, and you cut that pizza into 3 pieces. 1/3 of that pizza that is kicked out of heaven, and they are working with Satan. And that 1/3 of the pizza slice is connected to the 4 beasts. And all the society with Freemasonry, Illuminati, and all the rosary is connected to this beast. And those beasts have kings, and they beasts have banking family, and then business and CEOs. And they have a whole legion of demonic forces attached to them.
Huh.
Yeah.
And so, why was your dad involved in that? What was he?
Because he likes money, and he likes sex and money, and that is two flies in one hit.
Right.
So that is why he is working for the Freemasonry.
Is he still doing that today? Is he still alive?
No, he passed away.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, you said you had a near-death experience during this time. What happened?
Yeah. When I work, we always travel from Tuesday, some Donderday, Tuesday or Dinsdag. How do you say Dinsdag? Tuesday, Wednesday, Sunday, Donderday.
I'm not sure.
Anyway,
I
mean, what comes after Wednesday?
Thursday.
Thursday, yeah.
Yes.
And after Monday?
Tuesday.
After, yeah?
Tuesday.
Tuesday and Sunday.
Thunder Day or Thursday, yeah.
Ja. Anyway, dus that is the thing. What was your question away, brother?
Well, I was asking you about your near-death experience and
Oh, yes, my
what
dear.
happened. How did it happen? What led up to it? Why did it happen? And what did you see? So we'll start with
Yeah,
what led up to it.
it began. It all began with my father. Dus my father and my group of my father, they always travel at 2 days. Thursday and Thursday, and we travel with a device. Is a teleportation device. Freemasonry is working with the angels, and the angels is all connected to subatomic level of we can travel with a machine. Astral projection is a machine we device, and we go with our body from one place to one place, just like the game, just like the video Stargaze. Stargate van met you know the movie Stargate?
Yes.
They have a beaming technology, and with the beaming with the Asgard beam to go from one beam to beam to the other.
So what did this machine look like that you carried in your hand?
It is a black machine. It is a black circle machine, just like a frisbee. It is just like a frisbee machine. You can place it there, and then you type the coordinates on that thing. He types some coordinates on the thing, and then you can travel. It's just like a mobile phone.
Huh.
And only the priest, some people can access that machine. It has to do with your fingerprint.
Like a flying saucer. Like a flying saucer in your hand, though.
Yes. It's kind of like that flying saucer machine. Yeah, it just look like that. Yeah, it is black, and that look like a flying saucer in miniature.
Never heard of such a thing.
Yeah.
So you guys are carrying these machines around, and what happened?
Now we travel from one place to Satan office. That is his building, and my father and me our group must be blessed. It was after 7 years, dus I worked for 3 to 7 years, and I was being initiated. It's not me, but there are other people who was being initiated, and I was initiated, and my father, our group, Satan want to give us a present for our group to begin. Dus we get a suitcase of money so that we can begin our business. And so we travel from one place in a group, a group of about it's 14 people, 14. It is always 10 people, some 8, and then we travel from one place to another place. And when we were in that place, it was like a castle. And in that castle were like the security guys. The security guys were the werewolves. The werewolves is the security guys. Dus dat is the secret service. And they opened that door. We walked to a hall, and then we opened the werewolves opened the door, and there were all the clubs. You can say the Club 500. There was the Club 500 sitting there in a big massive hall, and then we walk in that hall to Satan's throne, and there was Satan was sitting there on his throne, and the harlot, that is the Statue of Liberty, that is the woman, the Statue of Liberty, where all the queens of the sea and the queens of the snakes must work to her. She is the head of all the queens. And she said that is also the women in Revelation 17. And at the end, dus that is the women. And Satan was sitting there. And Satan, he said, he was talking to my group of my father. And then it was my turn. And Satan said, do you want to work for me? And I said, I don't know. And he says, "From I am the God." When he say, "I am the God who created everything," and that was nice. Dus he was talking, and then I looked at my father at the back, and I saw my father. He was smiling at the other guys with my father, and they will say, "Yes, yes, we gonna get our money, and we're gonna go to the women." They were laughing because they thought they're gonna go to the cruise ships, to the cruise ship, and have sex there to hold the lives. Weet je, hold the 50. Dit is a 50-year plan, a 50-year plan. Dus, en in that 50-year plan, they think van, oh, we can have sex, all the girls, but that is our job. We as alchemists, and we make the voodoo potion, for the judges and for the banking family, so that they blind it and put not the money in our system, but put the money in the office of Satan. That is our work as chemists, as alchemists. Yeah, my parents, my father and I were alchemists. I only delivered my soul. And I only was a blood donor, soul blood donor. Dus, but now I must break what I have built for the kingdom of Satan. But anyway, so I look at my father and I saw my father with the other. Yes, we're gonna have a nice trip on the cruise boat. Dus, and then Satan, I look at Satan weer again, and that same point that he was talking, I saw an image. There kwam a screen right at my face in a spiritual realm, a screen, and we Satanists also use a screen. But in that screen, there was another screen. There was when Satan asked, "I have created the heaven. I have created. I am that I am." Then I saw a man on that screen who created us with white light, the heaven, the earth, and I was, in the beginning, when I was 3 years old, I asked that lady snake, and that is a demon snake lady, or the Mr. Wolf and the dragon. I told her when I give my soul, that was that white light that come out of my heart, into my hands, into a bottle. And in that bottle, you throw that 5 liter in that little bottle. And that dragon gonna grab that bottle and use that, what I have given to the people who, from the banking family and from the kings. I don't know exactly what he did with that, but I gave that to him. And he disturbed it for his, who you want to block. Dus, and when I asked that dragon, I said, "Why don't you get that white light what we give you? And why don't you ask that person who gives that white light and ask?" And they were very mad in the beginning. The dragon was very mad when I said that, because the dragon and the snake lady does not want to hear that, because it is the Father. God the Father has thrown them from the third heaven to the second heaven. And the God the Father has done something that they were very angry. And dus when we say from, "Why don't you get that white light?" they were very mad. Why are you asking? Why? And that was from 3 years old. Dus every time I stood in that star, I always asked why. And then at the end of the 7 years, I saw that person when Satan asked, "I am the tomb." That is why I saw that Father for the first time after from 3 to 7. Dus after 4 years I saw that person, and then Satan, the funniest thing, brother, that Satan want to grab, I don't know what he did. He tried to pull that screen, that is a big television screen. He wants to pull that screen, in front of my face. He wants to pull it. I don't know what he's doing. Can you believe it? You watch television and somebody standing behind your television. He wants to pull that television out. Dus he could not pull that television. It was a very funny thing. Dus I look at my father, and I look at him, and he says, "Do you want to work for me?" I look at my father, and I said, I turn around. I could choose, brother, but I didn't choose. My choice was, do you want to work for me? And I saw in a flash second, I cannot explain how, people falling into hell. People falling into hell. And when I saw people falling into hell, there were some people saying, you can stop it, you can stop it. And the other one fall. They say, I've made a wrong choice. Dus I could choose to send people to hell, or say van, I should more people to hell. Dus I look at my father and I chose not. I chose not to I follow the footspore of my father. And we can have the money, brother. Satan want to give us, everybody, a suitcase of money. Yeah, there's no problem for him to give money. But that money is blood money. And I chose not to choose to send people to hell. Then I turned around and then I pulled my finger to Satan and said, you're lying. Dus he was standing there at his throne. Dus when he could not pull that monitor, he go back to his throne and then he asked, will you work for me? And then I pulled my finger and I said, you lie. You need to remember, when that scream comes, it is just like the time has stood still. Time has stood still at that moment. I saw it was in 1958 and 1985. And it was that year. I was 7 years old. And now I'm 43 and I'm 44. And that is the time that, since that time, I saw from that time that I was partying on my sex have on the boat, on the cruise boat with my father. Lekker party, lekker women, lekker food. And I saw whole the 50 years, and what I saw was a white light coming down and judge us. When we were partying on the boat, the whole boat go straight to hell. And that was the white light was Jesus. And I saw when Jesus come down, that is another person as the same light of the Father and was a judgment authority. Dus I said, everything what we done on that ship, the whole life is meaningless. And that is why we was standing in the fire. Dus when Satan thinks that he say from, will you work for me? The thing is, brother, that when you put that black satanic robe on, you need to make a choice. And with Satan, I'm gonna step with you in that fire. And we're gonna send many people to hell. That is what you need when you put that black robe on. Dus normally, I can choose to send people to hell and burn with Satan in hell. When we step into the fire with Satan, we must remember how we deceive many people, when that fire burns out at our balls and our dick. Yeah, you need to remember when that pain comes, I have at least sent that stupid banana in hell. And that is what when you are a Satanist, many Satanists does not know that. And when you put that rope, the short distance life, that is the short distance life what you have, you must send many people to hell, because when you burn, the only thing what you meditate is the people that you send to hell. Dus Satan thought that I am his level. Normally, I'm at his level. I gave my soul from 3 to 7. Dus he think after 7 years, he think, oh yes, you work for me. What's a stupid egghead? I said 4 years, and why don't you get that white light? Who gives that white light? And I waiting for 4 years for an answer for that stupid beast. They didn't give me that. Dus after 7 years, I saw a screen and a person on the screen give me that white light. And I said, that is that person. I said, and that was the Father. And then I immediately pull my finger there at him, because time stood still. And then I move on and say, you're lying. You're lying. And that women next to it, the harlot of Babylon, they say, you impudent boy. Eh? How dare you? And they can speak Dutch, they can speak all the language. Dus when we come, and they zei, jij brutaal en rot, jong. Jij denkt, joh, you impotent. Who do you think you are? And then Satan grabs my face. And then he looked at my face, and then he said, he looks at my face and he said, God is gonna use you. You're one of his instruments. I don't know what, but you are gonna break my realm. You're gonna disturb my realm. And then he said, I cannot touch you. I cannot touch you. I want you to remove me. He said to my father, you guys cannot come here again when he is dead. If he is dead, you are welcome back. Dus all the people, that was the Club 500, that is all the kings and the business, and that was, they looked at me at 1985. Dus when I said to Satan, you're lying, that was the scream. Dus everybody, that it was all the kings, all the 500 was in that cell. They want to know who is that person. Dus what for chemicals, we are all alchemists, we drink that to activate that screen. But they asked my father, what kind of chemical did you give your son that he activate the screen and activate the father's throne? How does he activate it there? Dus all the people there was attacking my father, attacking my club. They thought, what did you ask? Dus they were also attacking the snake ladies, because the kingdom of the snake ladies and the dragon is also when you do alchemy, and that is one is also connected with the marine kingdom. That's three is the head, to make that chemicals. And dus that is what, and then it was removed, my whole group, and they grabbed me and my parents, my father, dus they pulled us out. And then I saw we were at a station, like a teleport station, like just like a metro station, is with the teleport device also. And then I saw the Rothschild and Prince Bernhard Rothschild of Weighty Klaus, and they were talking about something, and I don't know what they are talking about, but they were talking about something, and they put at me. Ik zeg, come, what did you saw? Dus I saw when that white leg come, and how we were ended when Jesus come and throw us all into the sea, that we were dead. But in that image, I saw God has put DVDs inside me. What the timeline was the Rothschild, the I don't know exactly what the name is, but they are connected with the Rothschild and the banking family, and also with the marketing family. That was Warren Buffett was there all by, and they were talking with the club system of the Holland, the banking, and they were all talking with my father, and they were I must be killed. Dus they say from, why didn't you, what was your answer? Dus we can put telepathic pictures. Dus what I have seen, given, I showed them their end time. And why they must choose. Dus they can choose Jesus or Satan. Dus I placed that image straight to them. Dus that was their choice to make. Dus ik zeg, we can choose step into the fire of Satan, but you need to pull many people to hell. That is the thing. We talk only in image, fast image. That is you. Why I have nothing to hide. Dus and then they released me, and then my father put me in a star ritual, and with the help of system with Satan to kill me. And I had a zwaar bronchitis attack. Bronchitis. I need to have some inhaler, some puff.
Right.
For my breath. Yeah. Dus then there kwam always a demon, and the demon choked me. on my chest, and choked me. That is a choking demon, and I was very heavy, very breathe. I want to pull him out, but he choked me little by little. It's just like a snake. It was a snake, big bite on my lungs. And then the demon and the thing choked me. And then I saw after 3 days a black man in smoke, and a normal man, but there was smoke around him and darkness, and that is death. Dus he walked through me. His job is only to walk through you. And then it's just like he pulled the plug out of your heart, something. And then I flow out of my body. I was sitting there. Dus I could breathe. Dus my sister was calming me. And I was at my bed. Mom! Manuel doesn't breathe. Mom! And I said, why are you screaming? I was already out of my body because death flows through me, and I could breathe opeens very easily. Hey, dus I stood up out of my body, and when I stood up, I saw my own body lying there. Dus I said, oh, I'm weer astral projecting. And immediately when I saw my body, then I saw, I was standing up, and then I saw my mother running. But I stood there, and she ran through me. I thought she stopped, but she ran past me, through me. And then when I saw, immediately come there an angel. And there was an angel, Michael, die come, a big angel. And he touches with head almost to the ceiling. Dus die door, there is a gap between that door. Dus he must bend his head, weet je, heel below by the doorpost. And then he entered, and then first his wings, weet je wel, he spread his wings, and all the demons, we had many demons in our house, they all fled, they all run. They all run out of the house. All the demons what my father summoned, they all fled my house. And then Michael said, the Father has called you. When he said the Father has called you, by that word I saw the Father on his throne, and he said, get Manuel, get him here. Dus when the Father says, he gives the order, he gives your name, he gives there he sit, and there you get them. And toen, that is why the angel, he touched my shoulder, and I saw my mother grabbed my body, and she lifted me up in the heaven and said, Father, why have you forsaken me? Waarom heb je mijn zoon, u hebt mij een zoon gegeven, waarom hebt u dit weggehaald? Dus I heard my mother screaming. Dus in Dutch. That is why have you taken my son. Dus the angel says, you don't have to see this. He touches my shoulder, and then we flow through to the ceiling. Dus we were in a flat apartment of four people, 4 buildings. Dus we flew 1, 2, 3, 4. I saw my neighbor he was also a witch. My father gave her always voodoo potion, and then she looked at me. I was waving, hello, in my neighborhood. Hey, what are you doing? She was looking with big eyes, and she saw Michael touching my shoulder, and then we lift up high to the ceiling, and then when we are on the rooftop, then the angel says, do not be afraid, and then we flow very fast to a zeg maar, just like Stargate. Flow through that star, and then we were to a golden city. Then we golden city, so we flew over that city, and then ting at the throne. That was also a gateway by the throne. And there was the angel. He was looking at the list of I was on that list, and he was talking to my angel. I don't know what they say. And then he said, "It's good. You can go." Dus then the door opened. Now, and I saw, what beautiful marmeren pillars. I saw pillars, and a room with pillars. And I was walking there. At the gate were two big red curtains. And then I walked with that angel in the curtain, and then I saw big flames of fire, like a torch fire. I said torches. So see, you can hear the fire, and it was very nice. Dus the angel said, come, walk through. I like fire, and then we walked straight through, and there were billions of angels. There And then when we stood there, all the angels, it's like a zipper, all the way so. Just like a zipper, you step down, dus all the angels, and then the angel touched my shoulder, and then we flew, so, and then we stopped, and there were other people there, and that was the parents of my mother. And when my mother was 7 years old sick, her parents was died in the fire. And my father says he sent a missionary for my parents to pray for my parents, her parents, so that they are in heaven. They have maybe a sinner's prayer to accept Jesus Christ as the Lord and Savior. And so they accepted her. And so.
Are you okay?
Yeah, so they accepted her, and that was the parents of my mother. So I hugged them. This is the parents of your mother. Oh, I said, okay, hello. In the heaven it is a DVD attached to, if you see somebody, you can see their life change, how they live, how they dinges, that is what you get. And the Father is the one who always, it says he wipe away all your tears. And there's also a word of encouragement. And he said to me in the later days, just as you hug your grandparents, that is how your mother is connecting, hug your parents again. I saw that image, and I saw my mother that was around maybe 20 years or something, 20, hugging my parents again. And that image is for this year. This year my mother died in January, and in this year I saw it. I said to my sister and my family, ik zeg, this is the month that my mother is gonna go. She is now going to go to the Golden City. And that is what I say. You need to remember when people are dying, who has a spiritual gift, a spiritual journey, they go to the Golden City. For the people who has not been so much work in evangelize, they sleep. But it is not for me to judge. It is really that Jesus, some people sleeping, and some people go straight to the Golden City. It is not all the people. It is only when you have an assignment or a job, that is the people who go straight to the heaven. But it is not me to judge. It is only Jesus, and by his grace, he is the one who judges. Because some people, some parents, some aunts, some family members, I can see they are sleeping in their body. And some people I cannot see in their body. Maybe they are in hell. Because when you die, or you go straight to hell, or you are sleeping, or you are going to the Golden City. But you can also be trapped in a spiritual realm. And that is also written in Proverbs. But I don't know exactly how that is, why people are trapped and people are straight to hell and people are sleeping. That is why, that's also written in the Bible scripture. But for me, I saw people sleeping in their body. You need to know when my family or somebody is dead, I see the person flesh, but I see also the person inside them, in that spiritual form. But they have always, they have a younger spiritual body. And that body is spiritually young. That body, flesh is old, gray, old, but the flesh of the spirit is about 30 years old, maybe 20, 30, 40. But it is no. When somebody dies who's 80 or 90 years old, they are not 18. I see they have a body of 50 years old, 50, 40. Yeah. Yeah, that is, it's not that I can see by all people, but by some of my family. Yeah, dus that is the thing. En that was the parents. En mijn mother, dus mijn eentje zei, come, go to the throne. Dus we were bij de troon. And then there was 4 living creatures. That is what the Revelation said. I saw 4 living creatures. There was a lion. And the lion is just, I cannot explain. It's just one, yeah, I like animals, but yeah, I want to grab him, you know. It's just like a big teddy bear. Dus I said to my angel, can I hug that beast? Can I hug him? I had the urge of to grab that leg of that beast, yeah, of the lion. Dus that angel said, no. But the father says, yes, he can touch him. Dus that lion, I saw that lion, just like look that lion, oh, not again. Dus I rubbed that hair of that lion. Dus it was very soft, that beast. Yeah, and that is what I like. I don't know how to explain. I just want to hug that animal. Yeah, it is, maybe that fur of him, I don't know, it looks very, very attractive. But anyway, dus the angel, we were standing in front of the throne. Dus then the father says, it is time for the prayers. Dus what does the angel does? I saw a golden sense of offering. You know, when you put wierook on, the angel put wierook on that thing, and then all smoke come. Dus an angel break a big block, like a block of butter. He break that, and he put it on that altar, and there were all coming blue smoke. So blue smoke.
Okay.
And then I heard all the prayers from the earth. Dus the angel said, step back. Dus we stand about 2 meters from that thing. And then I heard all the prayers from the earth. Father, 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 thank you, Father, 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 thank you. All the prayers, with all the voices. Father, 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 thank you, Father, 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 Father. Dus all the pressure, the praise. And then I heard my mother, Father, why have you taken my son, Father? Dus then I wrote, hey, my mother is here. Where is my mother? Where is my mother? I heard her scream. And then the angel says, no, your mother's voice comes from, that altar. And I was, oh, now, and then I saw a purple veil. Dus that angel put something from that altar, and then he waved, and then I saw that smoke coming from that thing, what that angel swing, and coming from that altar, straight to the nostrils of the Father. But you need to remember, it was a purple smoke, some kind of purple bluish smoke that comes from that altar, like a little thread, to the nostrils of the Father. And the other smoke were blue purple, they go straight up. And that is, the angel said, that is the prayer that the Father does not answer. That is the prayer, Father, I want you to kill my neighbor. Father, I want you to kill my ex. That is all prayer that is not coming with the meaning for their heart. They all go straight up to the universe, to hell. And the praise, only the praise what comes from their heart, that is the parents or loved one who wants to ask the Father from their heart. that is smoke that comes to the nostrils of the Father. The Father does not, it is only the prey by the righteous one that goes in the nostrils of the Father. And when the praise comes in his nostrils, he breathes it, and then immediately there comes, he has a white light. We have a flesh, God has normal flesh, but when he pulls it's like a shield. He pulls a curtain, just like a curtain, he opens up, and then comes white light out of our body. We are all children of the same alien creature. We have a body, but in our body is like an elbow light, and the elbows. And when God opened that curtain, then that light shines. That is what we are. We are the children of the same alien God who that has. And then I saw a circle or an opening. God opened a circle front of his throne where he sits, and then he pulls his white light into that circle. And in that circle I saw all the people. It's just like when you see a computer monitor, just like a Windows with all maps, and in the maps all TV screens. And that's why people are praying in the church, in their home, for their sons, for their daughter, for deliverance. And when that white light comes from the throne, you see how God is going to help you. And it's also to bend time and space. Dus for one pray, and you see that God bless, but it is also a time delay in that pray. And for blessings, for that comes misschien over a week or over a month, of immediately. Dus that is what God programs. Dus I see more details, but I cannot explain more details. This is the thing what I can explain what I saw. Because or else you get two quantum against this. That is keep it only in a nutshell. Because God bent time and bent the blessing. If you pray, God can do it. That means he gonna bless you at some point, but Satan is also gonna attack that blessing. Dus when he shines that white light on your pray, he is also gonna send other people to help you for your problems. But you must not neglect or push that brother or the sister away. When you push that brother and sister away, how God plays to help you, and when you push it, he sends somebody else. Dus that is one thing what I can see, and that is he prays all our 8 billions. That is the 8 billions who pray that come there. And that is also to do with and for the Muslims who pray, they think their prayer is not been answered. All that pray, what they do, wash their feet, wash their hands, it is all written by God. Only they have not accepted Jesus Christ. That is the only thing. But God watch them, how they pray, how they wash their feet. And God is waiting for that they want to accept Jesus Christ. That is the only thing. And they answer for their prayer. God is going to bless them, but will they listen to the workers of the field? That is the only thing, that they must listen to the workers of the field. If God is going to bless you, it looks very stupid sometimes, that some people come to you and God is going to use every people that you did not expect, because he wants to help you both on the path of righteousness. And you must always judge, because Jesus in everybody. But that is the thing. But let's keep on topic.
Yes.
Yes. That is the thing, how God bless. Isn't that great? When you pray from kill that brother in Jesus' name, that is prayer goes straight up. Baloney praise goes up to oblivion. And when you pray from out of your heart, with tears, with passion, and with righteousness, that comes to the nostrils. I saw it it with my own face, and he answered it so with his face, with his blessing and his white light. That white light is the word, and that is how he programmed the frequency. And we are children from that light. But I don't want to do in quantum physics too much with that light, but it's only the blessing. Yeah, and then when he was done, then the father says, "Come." And what did I did more? Dus he pulled some. Oh yeah, first I forgot. First God stepped from his throne, sorry, and he gave me water. Sorry, the first thing I was in the heaven, I get water from the hands of the Father to cleanse me. He said he stood up from his throne, and I saw water from his throne, and then he held the golden cup in his hand, and then that water come from one side in that cup, and then I want to grab that cup to drink, and then my father says, "Do not touch this cup. Do not touch it, I give it." That has a meaning, that the Father will give you that water. And when he gives you that water, all the demonic forces, what I have done, was totally cleansed, totally clean. And for the gay people, and God has cleansed the gay spirit, the gay, out of my body. Out of my body, that is the gay spirit, that is the spirit from hell, that is the spirit from iniquity, that we have from our parents, from our grandparents, that is from our bloodline, come the spirit of iniquity, and the spirit of gay is nothing but a cigarette or a jointje on our prostate. And when we accepted Jesus and the Father, He's gonna pull that cigarette that from our prostate, so we can have a normal Adam and Eve orgasm. There is nothing wrong. People from the gays say, when we accepted Jesus, that demon, oh, you cannot have an orgasm. Oh, that is that stupid beast. And when we accepted Jesus, that stupid beast is out of from our orgasm. Yeah, orgasm is an orgasm. That is what Father said. Be fruitful and multiply. Yeah, but not be fruitful with that stupid demon. Yeah, that is two things. We must be fruitful with non-demon attached to our prostate, attached to our skin gland. Yeah, that is true for our sexual organ.
Okay.
And
so back to what.
So that was the water what I have. That was first. I forgot it. After I from that lion, I get that water, and then the Father, when I saw that praying, he said I must kneel for the throne, and he grabbed some horn, and he pulled it from that horn. He anointed me with his oil on my hand. Yeah, on my hand. And what he did, he placed his hand on that oil, and then he placed this both hand on my head, and then comes white light at my head, and from my head straight to my whole body skeleton. Dus I don't know how much oil in that thing is. I think it looks like 10 liter oil or something. From my whole body to my whole, everything was covered. It's just like a bucket of oil on my head.
Okay.
And then he touched my both hemisphere of my brain, and then he spoke some word. I did not understand what word he said, but he said, from the verse what I gonna speak to you is gonna go speak to you in the later years. Yeah, and that is what he said. And then I stood up, and then he said, go to the city. So that angel brought me to that city. I was there 10 hours, 10 hours at the city. And I saw the golden city, golden buildings. There were many funny buildings. You can walk on the wall, on the ceiling. We play with gravity. We play with time, with eternity, with gravity. We play with plans. Dus we can have all the plans because you make self the plans. We are on another level. is not you buy plans, nee, we make plans itself. And that is the thing to do. If we play with gravity, I play with fireworks, and we can make fire rooms. We have sound shields, a shield with sound, a sound barrier for shield. And dus that is the things what we have done. And all flying vehicles, like a step that can fly, hover, and I don't know what is the power of that thing, what kind of how the crystal work, but it is for the anthem. Yeah, I'm an electric engineer, but in the early days, I always want to know how technology works. When I was 6 years old, 3 years old, I always want to know how the gadgets for machine works. That is, but because my father is also an electric engineer, and when you have a son, that is, they have the same qualities. I like to open things, but sometimes in the early days I could never put it back. I could open it, but not.
Sure.
Anyway, my father is sometimes very mad.
Anyway,
dus, I saw that city.
Okay.
And in the city is many universe. There are many universe. God created the zodiac. Dus we have also classroom with zodiac and how to make zodiac, make star system. And that is what we are. We are a child of God who makes that. Yeah, and you must not think that we only can heal the body, make the sick, turn water into wine. No, we are children of quantum physics. We bend time, we bend space, and that is what we are. We make planets. Yeah, we do not play with one bucket of flowers. No, we make a whole planet. But that is what you learn in the Golden City. Yeah, that is only elementary stuff what I'm talking about. That is not quantum physics at another level. This is simple things what we are doing there.
Okay.
Yeah. It is not only to cast out devils on. We are sons of a creator. Yeah, the Father that creates planets. he creates the sun. We are not only to cast out demons. We are creators. Yeah,
Okay.
isn't that nice?
Yes.
And anyway, that was the Golden City. Dus I did some things. I cannot remember everything, brother, what I did. But in that hour, that was like some test. Dus I did something there, and the Father says, "Come, it is now time." Dus that angel, I don't know, it's like some intercom. We have some mobile phone here in front of us. Yeah, we have also a television screen and a mobile phone. That is that gadget. I asked the Father, can I activate it? Maybe I can WhatsApp at all the 8 billion people here. But anyway, God has shut that thing off. But that is also how our prophetic gift works. We have a television screen in our spiritual in front of us. But God can switch it on and turn it off. But in the later years, when I see maybe God can activate your screen, and dus we got a movie screen, a television screen, a Samsung app. A Samsung app is mostly our photo memory brain. It is a photo memory brain is a Samsung Galaxy app, tab and tab. And a mobile phone is more like our when we do speed reading. Yeah, then you have the text messages of your mobile phone that is connected to your brainstem.
Right. So let's get back. Let's get back.
Yeah, I only know there is some connection with the brainstem and with the devices.
So let's get back to this Golden City. So you're in.
We can win a Nobel Prize, huh?
So okay, let's go.
Anyway,
yes.
Dus the Father says, "Come," and then the angel, the Father. This was the second time. Dus I did some classroom there with some stuff there, and one of the classroom was I was standing in the universe, and there was a bucket with planets, and that is when the planets rotate around the sun, it moves in a flower, just like a flower. Dus God has for every planet and sun a flower. Dus what the father says, now I want you to give the flower water. And he touched my shoulder. I said, pull your hands. I'm gonna flow water out. And he touches my hand, my shoulders, and then come white light. That white light is just like water. Yeah, there come white light out of our hands. So that is what the Father is doing. He touched my shoulder, and then come white water out of my hand to fill that plant. That is water white light. Dus I saw all the planets turning, with all the ecosystem. It's just like a remote control. That flower is just like a remote control of that planet. Dus when I give that water, that plant water, I saw all the planet, like they're singing, like they sing hallelujah, and in that kind of form. And when there was kind of music they playing, and then I put the white light came more, and I said, oh, stop it. And then the plant was burning. I said, Father, help, Father, I'm gonna burn this plant, Oh, and then I stopped. I said, sorry, Father, sorry, I burned that plant. That plant it wants to burn. And then I heard people or something screaming from that planet. Dus I don't know, oh, sorry, Father. Dus I said, I heard somebody screaming. Dus I said, better that you do it, Father. I just ruin it. Ja, beter doet u dat maar, Heer. Beter doet u dat maar. Ik verziek het. Dus, and then the Father picked me up and said, you have passed your exam. You have passed your exam. That means that when the Father touches you and He let your power flow through your hands, and you see that you ruin it, and then you can say, Father, it is better that you take the control. I ruin it. And that is how I pass my exam for that kind of test. Dus that is for all the people. It is not for me. It is for all the body of Christ. Dus that is what we have done, what I have done in the heaven. And then He grabs me, He lifts me up, and He pressed me to His chest, just like a child. And He says, you have passed your exam. And you know how, that is how we, Alpha, Omega creatures, has programmed, and He has programmed by His word, we are the Alpha, Omega. And that is how we program. And that word is, and we are Alpha, Omega. That means when we shoot a white light, everything in earth and in heaven must obey our standards of Alpha, Omega, the beginning and the end. We created this universe, we created this skippy ball, and with the zodiac in, with heaven and hell, and everything must listen. We are the creators of the Alpha and Omega. And that is the exam. People are proud. Satan has also done this exam, and he wants to manipulate the people from that planet when they scream. And that is when Father says, when proudness and pride comes in your heart, I throw you out from the living stone. And that is the pride. Pride means that when the white lights come and you can see, hey, I can let the people scream on that planet so they can give me something. Yeah, and that is why the Father throw him out of heaven.
Okay.
In that kind of area.
Let's go back to you in heaven. And so in your near death experience, where are we at this point? What are you doing?
Yes.
So God says you passed your test. What's next?
Yes, that was only the two things what I can remember, brother. There were things, but I cannot know what I did. And then He brought me to that throne. I was at that throne. And then the last thing what He did, that was we stand there at a platform that is a door behind this throne. Dus I was in a place or something, in a sort place, and that was behind this throne. Dus I saw the Father and the Mother coming from the chair. Chung, 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 they come down. And then the father said to me, I have chosen you. I have chosen you to do this job. Dus I said, okay. Nou, I zeg, what? I saw an image. Dus I was standing there in a circle. And God the Father take the hand of God the Mother. And God the Mother take the hand of the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit take the hand of Jesus. And Jesus take the hand of the Father. And I stood there in the circle. And first the Father lift me up. First Father lift me up, pressed to his chest. And hold. Then he gave it me body to the Mother. And the Mother pressed me at his chest. And then the Mother gave to the Holy Spirit. The Holy Spirit pressed. And then the Holy Spirit gave to Jesus. Jesus pressed me. And then Jesus gave me to the Father. And the Father pressed me to again. And then he set me in front of him. Then they hold hand. The Father touched his right hand to the Mother. The Mother touched the right hand to the Holy Spirit. The right Spirit to Jesus. Jesus to the Father. And then the Father says, don't be afraid. And then don't be scared. And then come white light from his body straight to me. And the Mother, the Holy Spirit, and Jesus, they all put white light against me. And I feel all my cells and bodies come out. And he renewed my body, you see. And then he put everything inside me. And that is, he said, he said, now you go back to this earth. And you know what that was? That was for to cut the head of the lion. And the head of the lion from Revelation 13, that is the head with 7 lions. And that one of that head that we cut off, that is the Dutch lion. That's why my parents come from West Papua, from the war from Dutch, especially to Holland, met each other, so that I come to, with whole the story, to, when I say no to Satan, then the God the Father says, this is, yeah, I have chosen you. Dus he has placed that white light. Dus when I was in front of the throne, I speed it up a little. And when I was in front of the throne, then the ground opened, and the Father said, the word what I have spoken, and that what you have seen here, will come and speak to you in the last days. And the word what I have placed in you, that will speak to you. That white light is nothing but word. What God has, I heard God the Father, the Mother, and Jesus some Bible verse murmuring, but I don't know what kind of Bible verse they are murmuring. That is for in this last end time. And that is to cut the head. Dus when I was in front of the throne again, I did not know from how I placed it was a teleportation. Then we were at God's throne. And then God says, he opens the floor. And then I saw my own body. And I say, you're going to go back. And you're going to go back. And the word's going to speak to you later. Then I flew from God's throne straight in my body. And my mother was there. It was about 3 o'clock in the morning. About 3 o'clock, 4 o'clock. And my father was asleep. I was sleeping there in my parents' bed. And my mother was awake. And my mother could see me in the spirit. The ceiling open, the ceiling of the bedroom open, and I come in straight falling in my body. And my mother saw that, but my mother saw also a big white hand poured all on my whole body. And he poured whole oil from my body for all the satanic ritual, and that it was all breaking and washed away. And there come water and oil to clean my body. And then I breathe normally. All the asthma attack were leaving my body. I could breathe. Helemaal back. My mother heard me breathe. Helemaal weer back weer. God blew me, my new life in my body. Dus my father didn't saw anything. My father was sleeping. It was, and my mother saw everything at that time. Dus since that time, my father could not stand in a satanic ritual, because every time he summoned that demon, then white light come from out of my body straight. When he was in the barn, my white light shine straight to, he cannot summon. Dus every time he summoned Beelzebub or the demonic force from Daniel, when I come in the, where he is standing performing in the barn, in the schuur, he could not stand. My white light shine and shine on Beelzebub, and Beelzebub scream, get him out of here, haal hem weg, haal hem weg. Hij schreeuwt zo, hè, on that voice, haal hem weg. Anyway, dus my father is looking van, where does that power come from? Dus my father had asked his whole life, he asked for power. Then come me and him, then come my son, and then white light. Dus my father said, where did you get that light from? Dus my Beelzebub said, get him out of here. Dus my father grabbed me, and he pulled me on a bed, but he watches me, and then comes white light, and his eyes, there is the, my alchemists have a snake, a snake in their body, man snake, women snake, and the snake who looks at me, he saw the white light come from out of my face and burn that snake. And that snake, dus my father looked at me about maybe 10 minutes or something, 8 minutes, he looked, he's so impressed, what is this? But my father already knew, and I was fall from a flat building, second high on my head, my skull broke, and when my father wanted to drive at the hospital, I go to God's throne, and the father said, it is not your time. What did the father give me? Like pancake, pannenkoekmeal, pancake dough, he placed it on my head, that is some dough, that healed my skeleton. Dus my bones I cannot break my bones very fast. When I hit something or break or something fall, my bones is because of that thing where God had placed on my head. My bones, I cannot break my bones so very fast. When I hit or very bang, people say, you must have, your bones must be broken, but it is not to brag, but it is, I'm not gonna experience, don't throw things at me. I'm not a clown to experiment. But anyway, that is the thing, that God heals me. That is the first thing. Dus my father knew that there is always some protection of me. And that is how that was my body experience. I became out of our body, but we Satanists can also travel out of our body by the assistance of that demon. And people saying, no, that is my own power. It is always power with the demonic force to enter that out of body experience. Mine out of body experience is when death come through me, when I was choked almost to death. And they choke that your life force that is connected in your heart as amount of frequency. When it passes that frequency, you attach that USB cable come out of you. And when you do satanic ritual, you can also travel out of your body by assistance of that beast. Dus that is that out of body experience. Yeah, but by most people, when they out of body, some demons gonna grab you and pull you to hell as a prisoner. That is also what they can do, yeah. Dus you must be very careful when you do that. Yeah.
Yes, it's very dangerous.
Yeah,
we covered a lot of ground here, and it looks like we're probably going to have to do another recording or two more, if you don't mind. I'm going to have to end this part of the interview and the story of you, Manuel, and your experience growing up in what you consider to be Satanism. It sounds damn close to it. And your experience in the Golden City in the presence of God and of Jesus. It sounds like a very, you're very passionate. Obviously, it's something that you believe. I believe you. I know a lot. I know a lot of. I know. Hold on a second, because I'm gonna have to. Hold on a second. So I appreciate and value very much you sharing this with me. And I'm gonna have to end this recording because I have to get ready for my son. But we have at least an hour here of this stuff. I will post it, and then I will share the link to you. And I value you very much, brother Manuel. I love your passion. I love the fact that you love Heavenly Father and our Lord Jesus. And something. I mean, you went through a lot. You went through a lot, and you've seen a lot more than most people. And one of the problem is too, Manuel, is that many of us who come from the Western culture don't quite understand what you're talking about at times, because we don't have that. We have never had those kind of experiences. I think maybe it's because we've been so spiritually deadened by the television, the computer.
Dead bones, just like Ezekiel.
The idiot.
Speak to the dead bones.
Right.
Yeah.
And the public fool system, etc. So, but anyways, hey, it was really great. I know we still got another. We're going to talk about you coming back down, and so that should be interesting. So, thank you very much. I'm gonna end the recording on my end.
Yeah.
And then what?
You're going to try, go all the way. Otherwise, don't even start. If you're going to try, go all the way. This could mean losing girlfriends, wives, relatives, jobs, and maybe your mind.